Hi, Civics Day judges. I'm Denora Gattacho, the New York City Executive Director of Generation Citizen. Thank you for signing up to be a judge at our Civics Day this spring and for taking time to view this webinar. I promise to be brief and respect your time. I have two goals for this webinar. First, for those of you who are new to Generation Citizen, I will introduce you to our Action Civics program and our work to educate and empower today's youth to find their civic voice. Second, I will provide you with an overview of what to expect at Civics Day and provide you with some tips for how to be an effective and engaging Civics Day judge. Generation Citizen is a 9-year-old national nonprofit whose mission in layman's terms is to get civics education back into classrooms using a new and exciting pedagogy that we call Action Civics. You see what I just did there? We put the word action in front of civics, and now it's something totally different. It's new and engaging. All jokes aside, Generation Citizen is leading a movement to reinvigorate civics education by teaching middle and high school students about how government works and how to directly engage with local government and politics to advocate for issues they care about. We partner with teachers and schools to help them implement our comprehensive, high-quality Action Civics program. It's taught over the course of a semester in a middle or high school government, social studies, or history class. Students learn about democratic structures and processes by engaging with them, as well as with their classmates, to address a systemic root cause of an issue they care about in their local communities. Our goal is to give young people the civic knowledge and skills they need to actively participate in our 21st century democracy for the long term. Generation Citizen New York City is our flagship local region, and we educated approximately 5,000 middle and high school students this year in all 5 boroughs and successfully launched our first partnership outside the city in Patchogue, Long Island last fall. So why does our work matter, you might wonder? Democracy depends on political participation, but Americans, especially young Americans, are turning away from politics. Young people want to make a difference, but they don't think politics and government are the best way to affect change. Did you know that only 31% of young people voted in the 2018 midterm elections? And while that's a slight increase from the 2014 midterm elections, when 21% of young people voted, there are still too many young people who did not vote, who do not think that their voice matters in our government decision-making. While this slide that you see on screen is based on 2012 statistics and voter turnout increased slightly in 2016, our turnout did not increase enough to move the United States to the front of the voter participation line. So the takeaway is that America has a participation problem. Politics is broken. The answer is not to disengage. We must re-engage, and we must teach young people how to be politically active. We must show young people that politics is more than the presidential election. Real political change starts at the local level, and that everyone can be a change maker. Here's the current state of affairs with civics education in America. Traditional civics in the classroom is ineffective, or civics has been phased out of schools entirely. Moreover, what we know is that students who attend schools in under-resourced communities are half as likely to study how laws are made and 30% less likely to report having experiences with debates or panel discussions in social studies classes. This reality has been coined as the civic engagement gap. Generation Citizen is dedicated to eliminating the civic engagement gap plaguing our most underserved students. The solution is Action Civics in the classroom. To lead change, we must first teach it. Our Action Civics program is analogous to a driver's education for civics. We don't let new drivers get on the road without training them first, so why do we think that if we want young people to be active citizens, they don't need similar education and training? But when I say Action Civics, I just want to be clear. This is not Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. Okay, I will stop singing because I can't really sing. This slide explains what happens in a Generation Citizen classroom over the course of a 10-week semester. We train educators in one of our program models, college volunteers we call democracy coaches, to teach Action Civics. We teach them how democracy works and how to engage with government to take action to address important community issues. Students learn by doing. Step 1. Students debate and build consensus around an issue that personally affects them. Step 2. Students analyze the underlying root causes of the selected issue and collaborate with democracy coaches or teachers to develop an action plan. Step 3. Students put their plans into action and participate in Civics Day, presenting their action plans and preliminary outcomes to public officials, fellow Generation Citizen classes, and other community members. Our program culminates with presentations at Civics Day. I've got another analogy for you. Civics Day is like a science fair for civics. I hope that immediately takes you back to elementary school, but not, because now you get to be the judge. Dun 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 dun! That's where you come in, dear Civics Day judge. You will be placed in a group with 1 to 2 more judges, so 3 judges max total. You will judge 4 rounds of classes. Each round will last for 15 minutes. Student presentations will take 8 minutes. You should ask questions for 2 minutes, and you will have 5 minutes for scoring. Let's role play for a little bit. First, introduce yourself and ask students to do the same. Have the students explain their project to you. Ask the students clarifying questions. Then you should thank the students, and then you should move on to scoring and transition. As a reminder, you will be given a 5-minute warning when the round is almost complete, which will be your indication to wrap up your conversation, thank the students, and score the round. Once you have completed this, you should go to your next table. Just a couple of reminders. If you are judging in the morning session, you will be meeting with middle school students aged 12 to 14. And in the afternoon, you'll be meeting with high school students who are aged 14 to 19. Regardless of their age, please remember that they will likely have very little experience presenting to professional leaders outside of their home or school. So please be nice to them and try to get them to engage with you at the outset. Please share any constructive feedback you have with the students as you wrap up the round. You will be determined if you want to nominate a project for a Civics Day Award in one of the 5 categories displayed on screen, which you can also find in the judge rubric that you recently received. Grassroots change, meaning students can clearly and compellingly articulate why their focus issue matters to them and matters to their community. Systemic impact, students can provide logical and evidence-based reasoning to explain how their project goal addresses the systemic root causes of their issue. Collaboration and diversity. Students have engaged a variety of local community members in their work and can clearly explain why each has a stake in the issue. Action. Students have utilized a variety of tactics to engage their targets and have shown considerable thoughtfulness and attention to quality in completing their tactics. Open-mindedness. Students can thoughtfully reflect on the GC process and connect their GC experience with future implications and possibilities. The judge rubric contains suggested questions to jumpstart your engagement with the students. I want to take a second to remind you that when you are judging the students, you should keep in mind that you are interacting with 12 to 19-year-olds from diverse backgrounds. Like I said before, many of them will be nervous presenting to adults, and for some, it will be their first time presenting to an adult who is not a relative or a teacher. Please take this into consideration when scoring the projects. You might be wondering what happens to your scores after judging. They are tabulated by the New York City program team, and the class with the most recommendations in each category will receive an award during the second portion of the program. This semester, we will be using the digital scorecard via a Google form. First, I would like you to open the Google form via the bit.ly link on screen. Let me read that for you. https://bit.ly/2W-ZVNJ. Once you have that open, you will enter the table number of the group you are judging, and then you will have an option to nominate them for an award. We recommend that you nominate a class for an award if you would give them a 3 for excellent or a 4 for exceptional presentation in the specific category. You will have the option to nominate the class for one of the following awards: Grassroots Change, Systemic Impact, Collaboration and Diversity, Action, Open-Mindedness, or Overall Class Changemaker Award. Please note that you can nominate a class for an award in more than one category. If you do not believe the class should receive an award in any category, please do not select anything. Lastly, we ask you to please share one piece of constructive feedback that you would feel comfortable with us sharing with the class and teacher after Civics Day. After you've entered this information, please press Submit. Once you complete your vote, you will receive a confirmation message that your vote was posted. You will receive a notice when it is time to rotate to your next table until you have scored 4 tables of students. Well, now we've reached the end. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this webinar in advance of Civics Day. Thanks in advance for volunteering your time as a judge at this year's Civics Day. We could not do our timely and vital work to educate and empower the next generation of young civic leaders without you. Thank you.